What was this? Hello everyone, hello friends, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome or welcome back. If you guys are new here, my name is Kate and I'm a professional makeup artist based in England. So today we're going to do a base routine. I've had a few requests for like my foundation and blush and what I use, yada yada yada, so I thought it's probably best for me to just do a routine of how I do my base makeup. Also, how do we feel about the different coloured background? I always backlight my wall with just a panel light, but I've had the red gels on from a look that I did the other day for Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd keep it on. And also it matches my t-shirt. First up, let's get hair out the way because I don't want foundation in my hair. I've already done all of my skin prep, so I just went in with some hyaluronic acid and a moisturiser. I don't often use primers because, to be honest, in my personal opinion, I don't think they always do that much. I think it's more in how you prep your skin, but that's a whole other subject, so we're not going to go into that right now. So generally I have combination to oily skin. It is a little bit drier at the moment because obviously there is no warmth or moisture or anything in the air. Like England right now, the weather is not it. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of Vive Skin Nova. I'm just going to add this, I'm just going to add this to sort of the outer perimeter of my face, just because I do get a little bit oily in the centre. I don't want to put too much glow here because it's just going to make it worse. So I'm just going to apply this just onto like the high points around my temple, and you can just see how this just gives like the most gorgeous glow. I'll bring the excess down my neck so we're not wasting the product. In general, the places I tend to get like the shiniest, oiliest is T-zone, around my nose, on my chin sometimes. Everywhere else is generally okay, which is why I'm just sticking to these areas with the Skin Nova. I also have the loveliest, juiciest spot on my lip here, which is so weird. Like I never get spots there, so I don't know what this guy is doing, but he's not welcome. So anyone that knows me will know that I say it over and over again, I don't particularly love heavy skin. I do in general like quite dramatic makeup, whether it's a bold eye, a bold lip, or both, but I like the skin to be a little bit more understated. So my two favourite foundations are the House Labs foundation, and I love the Skin Nova Complexion Balm from Vive. Two very different formulas, and I love them for different reasons. This is more of a summer shade though, so it's a little bit dark for me at the moment. This is the shade 210, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it's quite a golden shade, and when I have a little bit more colour to me in the summer, this is my sort of shade, but at the moment I am super pale just because we have zero sunlight. So I'm going to go in with the House Labs. I'm only going to go in with one pump, about this much. I bought this a couple of months ago from Sephora and I knew I would love it. What I'm doing is I'm taking a buffing brush. This is a foundation brush, I think it's from Japanesque, and I'm really pushing the product into it, covers all the surface area of the brush. This is a technique that I learned from Katie Jane Hughes, who is an incredible makeup artist. So what we're doing is actually pushing the product into the brush, so when you're applying it onto the skin, it almost gives this like undetectable coverage, so you can't see like a load of product, because a lot of the time as well, less is more when it comes to foundation. I think a lot of people go in with so much product to begin with, and it's sometimes so hard to blend out. Like you don't actually need that much, which is always something that I say when I do makeup on clients as well. Like it's so much easier to add product than it is to take it away. So I always start with a little bit, and then if I need to add more, I can do. So this is the shade 110 Light Neutral. See how beautiful this foundation looks like. I love it so, so much. I'm gonna do like a half pump, so not too much. Right in the centre of my forehead here, and then blend upwards. One of the most common mistakes that I see people make is they put too much product close to the hairline and then you run out of room to blend. With foundation, we're just given an overall base colour. It is the foundation of the makeup, so you can go in with concealers to spot conceal or do any colour correction and concealing after the foundation. So there doesn't generally need to be loads of product in the outer perimeter of the face. And always just make sure to blend it down into my neck, just so you don't have any like lines, because that's not a good look. And sometimes you might also want to kind of go onto the ears as well, because your ears are the biggest giveaway, especially if you're someone that wears fake tan and you've got your whole body tanned, you've got obviously a darker foundation on. at an event where there's going to be photography, whether it's like a wedding, a party, just anything where pictures are going to be taken, do your ears. Two favourite concealers. Surprise, surprise, we have another Vive House Labs combo. So we've got the Vive, this is the Modern Radiance Concealer. This is closer to my actual skin tone. And then I got the House Labs concealer. It's quite a lot lighter than what I would usually go for. The Vive concealer is a slightly thicker formula. And obviously because it's closer to my skin tone, I use this in the areas where I have discoloration because I don't want to highlight those. So a little bit around the nose, mouth, anywhere where I have a few blemishes. This is like kind of like an active spot, so I don't want to put the doe foot directly on it, so I'll take a little bit on my finger, just tap off the excess and just push that in over the top of this guy, a little amount under the eyes as well, and here. I don't ever change my brush, I just go in with the same brush and just start pushing this into the skin, really stippling in, especially anywhere where there is more discoloration, rather than really buffing it because I don't want to move the product around. I just want to push it in. And I always leave this part under my eyes till last. I let that concealer sit for a little bit before I blend it out. Going underneath my eyes, I focus the product further down, and then whatever's left on the brush, I blend upwards. Rather than going in with this concealer now, I like to wait until after I've done some more of my base products to see where I actually need it. We're going to hold on to this and save it for later. So for blush and bronzer, I am such a blush girly now. Day to day, I don't always go in with like a contour or a bronzer shade. I will just do a cream blush. But my favourite cream products are these Kash Beauty. They're very, they're a little bit messy. They're very well loved. I use these every day. These are called the Skin Glazes. So that you've got cream, blushes and bronzers. So for the bronzer shade, I have Soft Soul, which is, it's not super cool tone, so it's not going to come up grey, but it's not like a warm bronzer either, so it is really nice for like a fairer skin tone. I never go straight in with these applicators. I always do some on the back of my hand and do the same technique as I did with the foundation. I push the brush into the product like this, making sure you get all of the surface area of the brush covered, and this way you can push it into the skin without getting lines, because although this product blends out really nicely, I think sometimes when you draw lines all over your face it can pull off the foundation underneath. So I start pushing very gently. Because I have some discoloration and scarring on my cheeks, I don't want to buff the product too much because we don't want to lift any of the foundation or concealer. In terms of placement, I always place everything sort of like on my cheekbone and upwards. I never really contour underneath because I think you're just pulling everything down, which isn't always the look that you want. I feel like most people want to lift. So I always blend everything upwards. A little bit up here, just so there's some colour around the perimeter of my face, because I think sometimes if you just have colour here, it doesn't look as cohesive and almost like as natural. You want balance in between each section of the face. Whatever's left on the brush kind of onto the chin and along the jawline, and so we've got some consistency with the placement of the colour. I'm taking a small, this is like a concealer brush, I think. Doing the same thing, and then I just want to work this into my nose. So I do like to contour my nose, but not like a crazy contour. Down the sides, and also making sure to bring it into inner part of my socket line here, up into the brow, just so you don't have like two lines. Also, how cute is this mirror? It's from the Jolie Beauty Tainted collection. Then we're going to go in with some of the blushes. So these are my three favourite shades. So we've got Peach Paradise, obviously has that kind of like peach tone to it. We've got Malibu Dreamin. So Malibu Dreamin and Peach Paradise are the two that I kind of flip between the most. So Malibu Dreamin is more of that sort of pink shade, and then you've got the peachy shade. I like Peach Paradise for summer as well if you've got a little bit of a tan, because I think it just goes nice with the kind of like bronzy skin. And then we've also got Sunset Lover, which is a lot stronger. So it's like a deeper shade, but these have a slight amount of luminosity to them, so I don't always feel the need to highlight when I've got these on, because it gives you that glow. I'm going to go in with Malibu Dreamin. A really big brush. This is a Smith brush. I don't know the exact name of it. Same technique again, push the product into the brush. I have just washed this, so there's a chance I'm going to get little hairs stuck to my face, which is annoying, but it's important to clean your brushes. I'm pushing this in just above where I did the bronzer. I like the kind of like 80s inspired blush draping, and I always bring it quite high. I didn't always used to do this, but this is something that I've been doing for a while now, and I just love how it looks, especially when it kind of like blends into your eyeshadow. And whatever's left on my brush, I bring across the centre of my nose. I think it's important to add the colour back into the middle of the face, because some would naturally hit your nose as well, so I think it's nice just to bring something in. I will often go in with more than one layer of this because, again, I love blush. Before I go in with any powder products, this is where I come back in with my House Labs concealer, and I'm just going to add this to a few little areas. So I'm going to do a little bit under the eyes, but again, I'm focusing it. You can see how far down from the lash line I focus this. It's right almost like in the tear trough. Just do a blob there. And then I'm going to do some down the centre of my nose, because we did go in with blusher and bronzer. It's just to bring some more definition back. Up here, and then chin, a tiny amount just on the jawline there. Back in with the foundation brush. And then I'll just take my finger just anywhere where I've got little creases, just to make sure there's no product settling in there, just to tap out any excess. I'm going to go in with the Melt Cosmetics Bailey Sarian Please blush. This is the perfect, like, it's like Barbie pink. And I'm not a pink person, but I love pink blush. And it's just a really gorgeous, like, cool toned pink. So I'm going to take the same brush, and then we're just going to go over the top with this. This is, again, as I say, a very pink blush. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm obsessed with it. Like, I use it almost every single day, and I just think it is beautiful. And if I'm wanting something that's more on the peachy side, I use Vive Pesca. This blush it's in bits, it's broken. There's still so much product left though. I've had this probably a lot longer than I should have, but it is a really, really gorgeous shade if you like more of a bronzy sun-kissed look. This is really nice because it kind of just like complements those tones. I also want to mention a bonus product. This is the Melt Glazed Skin Powder. So this is a luminous finishing powder. This is beautiful if you're someone that has a very dry, dull skin. You can see it has like a sheen to it. That's it on my hand. I know I've got blush everywhere, but you can see the amount of luminosity that it gives. I don't always set my face with this just because I am on the oilier side, but what I like to do is, if I ever feel like I've gone too heavy with the blush or the bronzer, go in with a bit of this on a fluffy brush, and because it has a base colour to it, it just helps tone things down. Also just makes a really nice sort of like natural highlight. This would also be good if you're someone that doesn't want to use a load of cream products or a very kind of glowy base product, but you still want to add the glow back into the skin. This is really, really nice for that as well. And then to set the face, I'll either use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 1, which is a really lovely pressed powder. It's very finely milled. You can see how fine that is on my finger. So it's really, really good for touching up throughout the day as well without the powder getting cakey. So I use this in my kit. I use this on my clients. I always recommend my brides and newlyweds to get this as well. Or I will use the Melt She's Alive powder. So this is a really nice loose powder. I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury powder under my eye, take it on a powder puff. This is one of the new Jolie powder puffs as well. It's so cute. I don't have any other words in my vocabulary, so cute is all I will say, but love it. And then I'm just gonna, again, make sure that there's no creasing, because whenever you set your makeup, if there's creases there, you're just gonna set the creases. Powder's not gonna prevent it from creasing, but we can help minimize the appearance if we kind of blend the creasing away first. So I'm just gonna tap that out with my finger, then go in with the powder and just push. And pressed powder almost gives you a tiny bit more coverage. So I'm going to use the loose powder for the rest of my face. Again, taking it on the powder puff, just pushing it right into the forehead. Generally, I don't set like my cheeks because I've put a powder blush on top anyway, and the Melt Glazed Skin Powder. So that's kind of set it. But then I just want to set anywhere where I've kind of put concealer, because that's where product is more likely to move around. Make sure there's some on that guy there that you can still see, but it's fine. I like to add my beauty marks, moles, whatever you want to call them, back in. So I have a couple that you can still see on here. I have a couple here, and then I always have like a really enlarged pore here on my face. If I just feel like I want to disguise those a bit, I go in, make them into a beauty mark. The same with spots. I found my Freck. So I used to use this all the time, obviously if you want to add fake freckles. So I'm just going to go over the top. Quite a complicated relationship with setting sprays. There's only a handful that I like, one of them being the Vive Invisiveil setting spray. This is really nice because it's got skincare benefits and it's also alcohol free, so it's not going to dry your skin out. I just I just did my brows and a quick lip combo off camera. I'm quite enjoying not doing any eye makeup at the moment. If I'm having a bit of a lazy day, I really like how this looks. I just curl my lashes and I'm ready to go. And I just didn't want to distract too much away from the point of the video. So this is my complete base routine if I'm doing a full face of makeup. This is what everything looks like. I'd say this is my version of flawless. Like, you can still see some imperfections coming through, but it does what I need it to do, and it doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't look heavy, which is a massive thing for me. Curious to know what your favourite base products are, your go-to, can't live without, foundation, concealer, blush, etc. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I've posted, and I'll see you all in the next one.